Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. Here to do your monthly angel card reading for November 2017. So we're almost to the close of the year, and I can't believe it's gone by so fast. There's been a lot happening in this year of 2017, this year of new birth and new beginnings. Now, some of you may still be wondering what those new beginnings are, and that's a part of the process of new birth. Again, with this universal energy of 2017 being a time of new beginnings, oftentimes when we think about the process of giving birth, we don't know how long it's going to take. We go through some challenges in that birthing process. We go through some feelings of challenge in the birthing process. It's not always quick and easy. So as we're nearing the end of the year, we're actually in this month of November nearing the end of a cycle. We are at the end of a cycle, and we'll talk about why that is in just a moment. But for this month's monthly reading, let me get out what cards we're going to use for the reading here. We're going to be using the Sirian Starseed Tarot card by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha, and that's going to be for the main message for everyone. Your special message card, depending on your stone of choice this month, is going to be coming from the Archangel Power Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. So let's show you what your stones of choice are, so you can kind of contemplate that and think about that as I talk about some of the astrology and the other universal energies for the month before we get into the cards. So your first stone of choice is a carnelian wand. And some of these stones have been packed away since I went through the fire incident, as a lot of you remember, back in mid-May. Since I moved into a temporary place, I haven't unpacked everything, but I just really decided that I really needed to unpack a few of my stones. I had a few of them out, but I felt like, okay, we need to have some fresh energy here. So the carnelian is your first stone of choice. And the carnelian, we're going to relate to the chakras as far as the energies of what the stone is about. This is relating to the sacral chakra area, and the sacral chakra is the energy of creative self-expression. It's creativity. It's passion energy. So not necessarily sexual passion only, but this is about creative passion, feeling a passion for life, feeling a passion within yourselves, feeling kind of on fire, because that's the sacral chakra, and the idea of this orangish red kind of stone of the carnelian being kind of a fire element of passion within yourself and for your life and for your life path. Your second stone of choice is going to be infinite. Now the infinite is a stone that relates to the heart chakra, okay? A lot of the green stones relate to that heart chakra of unconditional love and compassion, both for yourself as well as for other people. So there's a lot of emotional healing going on with this stone infinite. If you don't have an infinite, you might want to pick one up. It's just a really lovely, soft, feminine, gentle, healing type of energy for, again, healing those emotional wounds of the past and any relationship matters, again, with that heart chakra association. Your last stone of choice, now it looks like amethyst, but actually, and you probably can't tell by the camera, but there's golden yellow in this stone as well, and that's ametrine. Ametrine is a combination of the amethyst, which relates to the crown chakra, and the citrine, which relates to the solar plexus chakra. So here we have this combination of opening yourself up to higher guidance and wisdom with that amethyst crown chakra energy, and also with that citrine solar plexus chakra energy, we're talking about confidence, courage, willpower, empowering yourself, owning your power, stepping into your power. So this one kind of has almost a little bit of a dual meaning. So again, your stones of choice are the carnelian wand. Did I say that right? The infinite and the ametrine. Okay, let me put these over here on the side. I want to make sure that the ametrine doesn't roll away. That would be not good. Okay, so there we go. I think it's secure. So let's talk about a little bit regarding the universal numerology vibration of the month of November. This is why it's so interesting. This is why we're kind of at the end of a cycle, even before we get to December with this month. Because again, if we back up and talk about the universal year energy of 2017, 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 7 equals 10, reduces down to a 1. Ones are about new beginnings, new directions, new opportunities, a new birth. So to get the universal energy vibration of each month, we've taken that 10 energy before reducing it down to a 1, the 10 universal year energy of 2017, and we've added it to the month that we have been speaking about month by month. So in November, November is the 11th month of the year, right? So we take that 10 vibration of 2017, the universal year energy for everyone on the planet, for humanity, and we add it to 11 because November is the 11th month. And what do you get? We get 21. And the 21st major arcana of the tarot is the World card. And this deck, the Sirian Starseed Tarot, it's actually called Ascension. Now, before we go right to, again, what this card signifies for the month of November, let's talk about the lower vibration for just a moment. If you add 2 plus 1 together, the 21, you get a 3 vibration. So November, the universal energy for everyone is a 3. Now, 3 is about growth, it's about expansion, it's about learning, it's about creative self-expression, it's about communication, speaking, teaching, writing, and all sorts of creative or communication types of projects fall under that number 3. Again, growth, expansion, abundance, prosperity, not necessarily just financially speaking, although it could be, but the 3 abundance and prosperity energy also is in regards to paying attention to the blessings in our life. This is blessings coming to us in various forms, many forms. Now again, the 21st major arcana of the tarot, in the traditional tarot, is the World card, the last of the major arcana before we get to the beginning again, which is actually 0, the Fool. So we're at the end of a journey here. And this is interesting because one of the first things I'll talk about as far as the astrological energies for November is the fact that Saturn and Chiron are coming to its 3rd and final square in the signs of Sagittarius, which is where Saturn is, and Pisces, which is where Chiron is right now. So since last fall, late fall, early winter, we've been dealing with the Saturn-Chiron square, back and forth, kind of happening. It happened the first time last year, late 2016. It happened for the second time, late spring, early summer, and then now it's happening the 3rd and last time again in Sagittarius and Pisces here on November 2nd. So basically right at the beginning of the month. We've been feeling this all through the month of October. But again, Saturn is about karmic patterns from the past. It rules challenges. It rules karmic lessons. It rules responsibility. It rules building a solid foundation for ourselves through taking things step by step, okay, which is why it rules 3rd dimensional time. Chiron is the wounded healer, the shaman, the place where we have a strong past life wound that we're here to heal as a soul. And with the two of these coming together, they both really signify this past life karmic wound that we've been attempting to heal. Now, your Chiron in your chart, your Saturn in your chart could be in various places. Here we're just talking about where this Saturn and Chiron right now and where they're at are falling in your chart. So that could be in various locations of your life. It could be in the money sector, it could be in the health sector, it could be in the relationship sector of your chart. So that all depends on your personal astrological blueprint, basically. But this is, you know, that Saturn-Chiron square, and the fact that the month of November vibrates to the Major Arcana 21, the World card, or again in this deck it's called Ascension, is indicating we're nearing the end of a cycle. It is a time to wrap things up, so to speak, on a karmic or soul level as far as the path that we're currently on or the growth that we're currently seeking and moving through, so that we can, again, start again, which I feel like December, I mean, December is the last month of the year, and we'll talk about that next month, of course, but I feel like this is when we're going to start to see or understand or feel the energies of what has been unfolding all year, what has been trying to be birthed for the whole entire year. So in this month, November, we're closing things up, we're wrapping things up, we're paying attention to details, we're releasing karmic patterns and energies on a physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual level with this vibration, with the Saturn and Chiron square that again comes to a head on November 2nd, which again we've been feeling really strongly the whole month of October. So what does Ascension mean in this particular deck? Ascension is the soul rising into its truth. You know, we're reconnecting with our higher soul selves, we're reconnecting with divine energies, universal energies, and we're understanding that we are here to raise our vibration, to reignite our passions within us, to understand that we have a magical energy within us, that we're co-creators with divine source, God, universe, and creating our realities. We're ascending to a higher place here with this energy. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about some of the astrological highlights for the month of November. Now again, the 2nd is when Saturn and Chiron come together. So we've already talked about that quite in depth. The next thing that happens that's of significance is going to be a full moon. And that full moon happens in the sign of Taurus, because the moon on the 3rd and the 4th is in Taurus, and the sun on the 3rd and the 4th is in Scorpio. And I say the 3rd and the 4th because it depends on where in the world you're located as far as when that full moon comes to a head. So this full moon at 12 degrees Taurus, sun at 12 degrees Scorpio. Jupiter is in a very wide, what we call a wide opposition to this full moon. Jupiter's at 5 degrees of Scorpio, so it's about 7 degrees or so from this full moon, meaning as the full moon starts to develop, even, you know, a week before, I want to say from the beginning of November, you're going to feel these full moon energies start to grow, because it's going to be in closer connection to Jupiter at that point until we get to the 3rd and the 4th, and it's just a little bit past that Jupiter. Now Jupiter in close proximity is going to expand the energies, because Jupiter is a planet of growth and of expansion. It makes things bigger, so it's going to make the Scorpio and Taurus energy bigger. And what is the Taurus and Scorpio opposition all about, or what is that, you know, that pair of signs all about? It's about money and finances, our money, our personal resources versus other people's money and other people's resources. It's about our values, again, my values, or our, you know, my personal values versus other people's values. It's about feelings of security as well. Could be, again, financial security versus feeling more secure energetically within who we are, which is more of that Scorpio energy. That full moon is also going to be in a positive aspect to Neptune at 11 degrees of Pisces, being another water sign aside from that Scorpio water sign. So Neptune gives it that very spiritual flavor, but also a heightened connection to the spiritual realm, because all those water signs of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, and again we're dealing with Scorpio and Pisces in this case with the full moon, deals with the emotional body or the emotional realm, and that Pisces energy has a bit of a spiritual energy to it. You know, it rules the spiritual energies of the other side, of higher dimensions. So I feel like that's going to be a very powerful full moon. And as we move to the next thing that's of importance astrologically, on the 5th, which is pretty much the next day after the full moon, Mercury, the planet that rules our mind, our thoughts, our ideas, and the way we communicate, is moving out of Scorpio. So it's in that last degree of Scorpio during the full moon. And then on the 5th, it moves into Sagittarius. Now, normally Mercury is in a sign, each sign of the zodiac, for approximately 3 weeks or so, but Mercury is going to be in Sagittarius for quite some time. It's going to be in Sagittarius until January 11th, all through the month of pretty much all the month of November and then all of the month of December until January 11th. And why is that? It's because in the month of December, Mercury will go through a retrograde cycle in the sign of Sagittarius. We'll talk about that more next month, but Mercury in Sagittarius is very prophetic. It's a visionary, it's inspirational, it's about expanding our ideas, expanding our mind, it's about learning things, it's about traveling with our mind, if not actually physically. So I feel like Mercury in Sagittarius is going to be a very positive placement throughout this month. Now on the 7th, Venus changes signs. Now Venus is moving out of the sign of Libra, the sign of relationships and partnerships, and it's moving into the sign of Scorpio. So it's joining the sun, still in Scorpio, in that sign on the 7th. And Venus and Scorpio, I mean, Venus is about love, relationships, our values, how we feel about ourselves. And in Scorpio, it goes deep. It goes really deep. This is like we want commitment now in our relationships. We don't want anything superficial anymore. When it comes to how we feel about ourselves, we're feeling more sensual. We're feeling more magnetic. We're feeling more mysterious because all of those things are Scorpio qualities. I feel like we're valuing ourselves more. Scorpio is a sign of empowerment. So the divine feminine, that Venus energy of the feminine, is feeling much more empowered. And or there's going to be situations of disempowerment in one's life that is starting to be highlighted even more, okay? Which means that, you know, that energy is kind of asking us to empower ourselves from these disempowering situations. On the 11th of November, Saturn is coming into its 3rd trine with Uranus. Saturn rules the patriarchal system, 3rd dimensional reality. It rules time, it rules structure, but it also rules challenges and karmic lessons. We're bridging that by moving into that Uranian energy. Uranus rules 5th dimensional higher energies. It rules the God mind. It rules futuristic types of experiences and happenings and ideas. It rules beating to the beat of your own drum, being a little bit of a rebel. So it's moving outside of that patriarchal system that we're used to kind of operating in. So that trine, that connection between Saturn and Uranus on the 11th, again, building up for the last month or so, we've been feeling it. It's starting to manifest some sort of a bridge between the old and the new. The Saturn is kind of the old energies and Uranus is the new energies. It's giving us that opportunity to bridge those energies within our lives, both on the planet for humanity, but also within us as individuals, to bridge what the next step is as we want to pursue our goals, pursue something higher, merge with our higher beingness, if you will. And then we're going to skip into the new moon that we have on the 18th of November. The new moon is at 26 degrees Scorpio. Now, there's nothing really as far as any major aspects to this new moon in Scorpio. We do have Venus in Scorpio and we do have Jupiter in Scorpio, but they're not really that close to that 26th degree of Scorpio, but it still kind of heightens that Scorpio energy, if you will. So we're talking about new moon, new birth, new beginning in the realm of the mysteries of life, empowerment issues, money, because Scorpio rules other people's money. All the things that Scorpio rules is now going to be highlighted as far as new beginnings are concerned. Now, 2 planets that are close to that degree, but in signs that make minor aspects and not major aspects, which would be Uranus at 25 degrees of Aries, making what we call a quincunx or an inconjunct to the new moon, and Saturn at 26 degrees of Sagittarius, which is the sign after Scorpio, so it's called a semi-sextile. So the fact that Uranus and Saturn are making minor aspects to the new moon where no other planet is really making a major aspect, it's creating energies of adjustment. We need to adjust something. We need to move through maybe some challenging or frustrating kinds of energies to understand the energy of the new moon a little bit better. It's not anything outside, you know, the box challenging, but there is a little bit of frustration as we try to adjust to those energies. And then the sun moves into Sagittarius on the 21st. Of course, that's its monthly cycle of where it is. The next big thing that happens is on the 22nd of November with Neptune going stationary direct at 11 degrees Pisces. So a few days before and a few days after the 22nd, you're going to feel that Neptune slowing down. You might feel physically more drained or tired. You might feel much more intuitive or psychic in nature. There might be things happening that are confusing because Neptune rules confusion. You're also going to be more sensitive to alcohol or over-the-counter or other types of drugs or chemicals or just the energies. Neptune kind of brings in that energy of being really sensitive to all types of things and all types of energies. So you're going to want to pay attention to that as well. Okay, so that's pretty much the highlights of the month of November. So watch the weekly readings for more specific information week to week on the astrological happenings that are going on. Chiron is also slowing down during the month of November, getting ready to turn back to direct motion. Now, it doesn't turn back to direct motion until the 5th of December, but we will feel it this month. Again, bringing up or heightening or intensifying those wounds that we might have physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually that we're here to heal. And again, according to where it's falling in your chart. So let's go ahead and look at the cards. We gotta do that before we run out of time here. And I meditated and pulled 3 cards, and actually I pulled a 4th card because this month, again, with that World card being a focus of energy for November, I felt like we wanted to maybe get a little bit more insight. But the first card is actually Major Arcana number 5, and in this deck it's called Guidance. Now in the traditional tarot it's called the Hierophant. And the Hierophant typically is a spiritual person of authority to where we're seeking guidance. Now in this particular deck, I feel like there's a need to not go outside of ourselves to seek that guidance because we have a Buddha here that's shown with this particular card. We have the Sphinx above the Buddha. And the Buddha's in a meditation phase, and this is about seeking inner guidance, seeking your own internal guidance. You know, connecting with your own internal intuition as far as moving throughout this month. So, you know, the traditional, again, is to look outside of yourself to the spiritual authority, whoever the spiritual authority is, for guidance. But in this case, I really feel like we need to, especially because of the energies of new birth and new beginnings this year, and the energies of the world, meaning the closing of a cycle. We're moving into a new energy of realizing that we are spiritual beings, co-creators with God's source energy, and that we have the answers within us rather than always seeking the answers outside of us. Look within, feel within, understand within what that guidance for you is, you personally as an individual. Now let's take a look at the second card. Okay, so we have the Seeker of Orbs. And the Seeker of Orbs, the Seeker is the page in the deck. And if I recall correctly, they name the page, the knight, the queen, and the king. They're actually under different names. And I want to make sure that as far as the orbs is concerned, or I should say the seeker definitely is the page. But the orbs is going to be, as I recall, yeah, the orbs is what I thought. This is the Page of Swords. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I say that correctly. So the orbs are the swords. This is about the mind, the mental realm. So this is the Page of Swords. And this is about, again, using your mind and your abilities of discernment. It's like spiritual discernment. It's like merging intuition and logic to be able to seek the answers. And if you look closely at the imagery, this young woman, she's got an orb in her hand, but there's like this darkness around her, but not in a scary way. But then there's some color here right in front of her and some things highlighted up here. It's like she's seeking the answers to the mysteries. To me, this like darkness is kind of like that Scorpio energy of the mysteries of life and what's underneath. And let's understand what's in my psyche. Again, the mind. Let's understand my mind a little bit better. What my patterns are. What my reflections are. How do I piece all of that together to understand myself better from a spiritual perspective so that I can seek the guidance within that's going to make sense for me as I move forward. This can also be about coming up with new ideas as far as where you want to go next. Again, I feel like that's merging the logic and the intuition. The next card, we have another Major Arcana. Not surprising because I do feel like this is an important month, but this is Major Arcana 2 with the Higher Self. In the traditional tarot, this is the Priestess deck. And so again, we have that idea, just like the guidance card, of finding your power within, seeking the answers within, getting in touch with your psychic and intuitive energies within. This is all very much highlighted. If you can see, it looks like she's standing in a sea of water. So there's that kind of moon aspect, that mysterious aspect, that emotional aspect with the higher self or with the priestess that happens. She's got a book here. This is like the book of life. This is like a book to the Akashic records. So she's very much in tune with her perceptions about herself and her karma and her challenges and what she needs to move through to heal physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. This is, again, like being in touch with your own Akashic records and finding the answers, again, the guidance that you seek. Let's take a look at that last card, and then we have to really get to the special messages. Okay, interesting. We have Indigo. Now this is Major Arcana number 1. So we have a lot of Major Arcana in this monthly reading, again suggesting it's a very important month here of the ending of a cycle. Now Major Arcana 1 in the traditional tarot is actually the Magician card, okay? But I like that it says Indigo here because I feel like, you know, through seeking that inner guidance, through seeking through your subconscious, you know, the mysteries of life and connecting with your own Akashic records, you're figuring out how to connect with your indigo nature, your crystalline fifth dimensional light body nature, your nature of being the co-creator of your reality. That's really what the Magician is about, being co-creator of your reality, connecting with your true spiritual abilities or spiritual power, okay? It's like being the magician and having that magical energy around you and within you to move forward in life. So I feel like this really makes a lot of sense. We're seeking that guidance. We're connecting with our higher self. We're merging intuition and logic. And we're seeking our magical abilities in this month to be co-creator of our reality and to move forward on our highest and most important destiny path. Now we are running out of time here, so let's take a look here what your special message card is, depending on your stone of choice. The first stone of choice was the Carnelian Wand. Carnelian Wand, people. Oh my gosh, the High Priestess. Okay, so you're really tuning into that High Priestess energy. And this is Archangel Haniel. It says, powerful psychic insights, reflection, meditation that provides valuable information. Be at peace. So you're really tuning into that divine feminine energy, that powerful, intuitive, spiritual guidance within yourself, connecting with that divine feminine power. And again, your own Akashic records to move forward in life. All right, for those of you that chose the, what was the next one? The Infinite Stone. So giving this a shuffle. And this one's sticking up, so Infinite people. Ace of Michael. This is like the Ace of Swords. And it actually says, a wonderful new idea. Remember how we talked about the Seeker of Swords here, the Page of Swords? Now we have a wonderful new idea. Don't allow bumps in the road to hinder your progress. Clear up communication problems with others. So this is about a new idea, a new way of thinking, a new beginning in the realm of the mind. So I feel like maybe some of you have gone through some difficulties or challenges with your mind energy and feeling more positive, or knowing that things are unfolding exactly as they should, because sometimes the ego mind gets in the way of that. You're moving through that challenge and now you're feeling more confident, more self-assured, more ready for this new beginning that you're seeking. So pay attention to inspirational ideas that come in, and this is going to be a time to really move forward on those. All right, and then for those of you that chose the Ametrine, let's give this a little shuffle, and this one's calling my attention. Ametrine people, isn't that interesting? Guidance, Major Arcana number 5, and then Major Arcana number 5, Divine Guidance. Archangel Sandalphon. The search for meaning in life. Consider an alternative approach. Surround yourself with wise teachers and friends. This is really interesting because each of the special message cards reflects one of the 4, basically, one of the first 3 cards that we got for the general reading. Every single message card reflects the cards that we got for everybody. So here it is. Archangel Sandalphon is the archangel that carries our prayers and our intentions to the higher realms so that they can be like released and manifested basically by universal energies. Again, seeking, seeking more meaning in life, seeking that divine guidance within yourself. Here's that Hierophant, here's that angel, to where again we can go to a spiritual teacher. And it doesn't mean you don't go to a spiritual teacher if you really feel like you need guidance. You can certainly do that. But start to pay more attention to your own divine guidance within, because this is what this card really is saying. So I hope you've liked this monthly angel card reading. I think it was pretty spectacular as far as the energies are concerned and how all the cards came out. I want to send you all much love and light. And thank you all for watching my videos and commenting and supporting and subscribing to the channel. And I send you all, again, much love and light, many angel blessings. Namaste to you all.